Welcome to my video, what would happen if Romney did 5% better back in 2012, so let's start. And let's start for the safe states for Romney, so let's start for Montana, Idaho, Utah, North Dakota, Wyoming, South Dakota, most Nebraska. Let me check, I think the 2nd district as well is actually safe, so Kansas, Oklahoma, Arizona, almost forgot, alongside Alaska, Texas, Louisiana, most of the deep south as well, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia of course, Arkansas, Missouri, the old Bill Clinton states. And that's it for the safe states for Mitt Romney, so let's go to the Obama states. So of course California and Hawaii will be safe Democrats. And now we have to go to the East Coast, so all these states right here: Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New York, and the 1st district, New York and the 1st district of Maine would be safe states. So fun fact, most of the states in the eastern parts of the country, like Connecticut, I think, would barely be safe states by 0.3%. Most of these guys are like, oh wow. As I was saying, like, Rhode Island would not be affected at all. It was a really Obama state. And Maine, of course, becomes likely, as I said. But I will say. And yeah, so this means that even though Obama is from Illinois, it technically drops down to likely by a small margin of 0.1%. And yeah, so before I forget, actually, I don't know why I almost forgot, Indiana would of course become a safe state, if I'm not mistaken, since it went to Romney by 10%, and it would become a 15% win for Romney in that state. Let me check. I think I'm all good, so yeah, that's the only state I almost forgot. So it would go from Obama to Romney states. So for the other states, since I was talking about Mitt Romney, let's start for the likely states for Mitt Romney. So North Carolina would actually be a likely state for Mitt Romney. So if you go to the map, it would go from 2% for him to 7%, which would be a big win for him in that state. And if I'm not mistaken, that's probably his last likely win. So while for Obama, his likely states are of course going to be Illinois. Quite interestingly, as I said in the video, early in the video, it would go to 11.9%, just below my 12% safe threshold. So for the other states, as I was saying, so New Mexico, not much of a surprise. It would go from 10.1% to 5.1%, barely being a likely state for Obama. So while for the West Coast, Washington and Oregon dropped down to likely states since they went to Obama by 14.9% and 12.1%. And for the District of Maine at large, it would drop down to likely. Not much of a difference in that state. It would still be a big Obama win, but Obama wins here by a margin of 10%. So as you can see, after the likely states, this is how the map looks like. Romney leading at the moment, but really close race between Romney and Obama. So for the lean states, let's start for Mitt Romney. So one of the most interesting ones I did find was Virginia would actually become a lean state for Romney. I think this would have become one of the last elections where you saw Virginia being this competitive. So it would become a Romney state by 1.1%, which would have been close, but still a lean state. So for Florida, so this was a state that most, or not most, but many people believed would go or would have gone for Mitt Romney by a small margin, but it went to Obama, of course, in our timeline. So he would win here by a lean margin. And lastly, for Ohio, that used to vote to the right of Iowa, which is kind of weirdly the opposite now. But back then, it was a Obama state by 3%, and if Romney did 5% better, he would of course win here by 2%. And now for the Obama states, so for the lean states, not much of a surprise here. Nevada, of course, would go from 6.7% to 1.7%. And for the other ones, so like Minnesota, Wisconsin. Let's go to Michigan as well. Minnesota will go from 7.7, 2.7, 6.9 to 1.9, and Michigan barely drops off from 9.5 to 4.5. And let me check. And I think for the last Lena electoral college votes, it would be the 2nd district of Maine, which would go from, as many people know, 8.6 to 3.6%. And yeah, that's it for the lean states. So now for the tilt states that Obama and Romney need to win. Romney only needs technically only one, and Obama needs a lot of them. So let's start with the first state. So for Pennsylvania, of course, interestingly, it would be a tilt state in this scenario, because Obama would get a lot of African American turnout to Michigan and had Rust Belt appeal in Wisconsin. Michigan would interestingly be 0.4%, one of the closest states in this election. And now for the other one, so Iowa, let's go to Iowa. So Iowa would, of course, be really close, but another Obama win, so he would win here by 0.8%, a drop from 5.8. And let's go to New Hampshire. So New Hampshire would in fact technically be an Obama win. He would win here by 0.6%, more than Pennsylvania, which I found this quite interesting. So he would win here by a tilt margin. And for the last state, the deciding state, which is Colorado, and would be won by Obama, would actually barely be able to win Colorado as well, so by tilt margin. So as you can see, if Mitt Romney did 5% better back in 2012, Obama still wins by the skin of his teeth. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video.